everybody, I'm Rebecca Keppel and I'm here for Therm O Web today, and I have a couple of projects to show you that were inspired by the Michaels makers. They take these foam pumpkins and they had different foiled effects on them, and I figured that'd be fun to do with Therm O Web as well as also use some glitter dust. So for this first pumpkin, we're going to use the small foam pumpkin, and I've covered it in Therm O Web glitter dust, and this is a clear adhesive that seals, and it's got a gold glitter to it. Not very chunky or very heavy, it's just this fine sheen. It's a beautiful gold glitter dust. I do this outside because it does have a smell that I don't like in my house, and you just use some short bursts. There's great instructions on the package, and you can see the shine on this pumpkin. I've also applied it to these flowers, and I'm just showing you here how easy it is to do. Just little spritzes here and there, and it dries very quickly. And then you have this great glitter on your fabric or your pumpkins. You can do it on this ribbon as well. I have some Zots to adhere the ribbon to the pumpkin. These are medium Zots, and they come on a roll, which is great because you can unroll the ribbon and then unroll the Zots and just put them all along. And this is a great way to adhere ribbon especially if you're working with kids and you don't want to use a hot glue gun, or for me, I don't like to use them because I always burn my fingers. So this is a great alternative, and they really do stay put. So I'm just unrolling the Zots, and then I'm adhering them to this ribbon first, and you can see that it's pretty easy to do. You just sort of press down on the backing paper and then peel away, and then you've got the Zots adhered to the ribbon, and it'll be ready to go. So I didn't measure very well, so I'm going to see how well this fits on my pumpkin, and then add a couple of extras on the end here and just wrap it around the center of the pumpkin. And you can see right away it's going to adhere, it's going to stay down, and I'm just making my way around and just pressing firmly, but it doesn't even have to be that firm. These are very sticky, these adhesive Zots, and they work really well. So I've decided I'm going to overlap just a little bit here with the ribbon and cut with some scissors, and then I still have just a little bit left of the ribbon that doesn't have Zots on it, so I'm going to apply a few more just to make sure that the whole band is around. This is a great way to tie a bow if you can't really get a bow tied around the pumpkin, which I was having trouble doing, so I figured just tie a band around the center and then tie a bow separately and adhere that with the Zots, and that's what I'm going to do here. So this is just my band getting ready, and I still have one little flap that needs just a couple more Zots, and so I'm just going to put those down and just make sure that this band of ribbon doesn't go anywhere. It's not going to slide around on my pumpkin. It's going to stay put, and you'll see that as I start working with the rest of the pumpkin. So there we go. We have the band, and I've tied a bow. I'm really not very good at tying bows, but this is about as good as I can do. It does have a little wire to it, so it's nice. It does stay put. And to get some nice ends, I'm just folding the little end in half there and then cutting at a diagonal, and then you get those little pretty bow tie ends. I probably did a little too long on that side, but better to go too long at first and then go shorter, right? So that's what I did. I cut a little shorter on the other side, and then I'm going to match it on that first side. So there we go. I have one side done, and I'm going to just, like I said, fold it in half and then cut it at a diagonal, and you get that great little end. And the way to then adhere this is to just, again, use some more Zots. I just put some on the middle of the bow, just a few. You can layer them up. You can use 2 or 3 on a big bow like that. And then check this out. It just stays exactly where it's supposed to. And actually, for my non-bow tying skills, I like the way that looks. So now what I'm going to do is poke some holes in the top of this pumpkin, because I'm going to put those flowers that I've cut off the entire stem inside the holes and have this be a little floral display, which if you buy them pre-made, man, they're expensive. So it's kind of fun to make your own. This was relatively cheap to put together, especially right now. A lot of these pumpkins and things are on sale, so you can run over and grab some and glitter dust them up. And then I'm just working my way around. I realized after I had made the holes that I hadn't made them quite large enough because I was kind of stripping the flowers off the wire, so I had to make them a little bit bigger. And then I'm just kind of mixing and matching the colors. I have some pretty oranges, yellows, and reds, and so I'm just working my way around the pumpkin, and they all do have the glitter dust on them, which is hard to see on camera, but I hope you can see it in the photos that were at the beginning of the video, and I'll show again at the end. The glitter is absolutely beautiful. It's perfect for fall, and gold glitter is my favorite. So here we go. Here's that last hole that I have to make just a tiny bit larger, and then the last flower. And then you can fluff them up. You could add more glitter to them. So this is one way to add some glitter to florals and pumpkins and create a really pretty centerpiece or decoration. You can add these glitter dust effects to ribbon as well. I could have sprayed the ribbon with the glitter dust. I just kept it plain. And this is just one way to use Therm O Web adhesives on pumpkins. Another great way to use Therm O Web adhesives with these pumpkins is to use some foil on them. And I got this pumpkin also at Michael's. It's already gray, and I've added these gold lines using the Therm O Web iCraft Deco foils. So you can see I have the iCraft Deco foil liquid adhesive here. It comes in this bottle. And I have the Therm O Web iCraft Deco foil transfer sheets in gold. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how I apply one line of this adhesive to the pumpkin. I applied most of them last night and I let them dry overnight. I'm going to show you the one line and how easy it is with this great nozzle. Allows the liquid adhesive to come out perfectly. So there you go. There's my line, and you can tell that that line is wet because it's still opaque. It's white in color. And this is the line that's dry because it's clear, and that's how you can tell. So you can only apply the foil to the lines that are clear or that are dry. And that's what we're going to do right now to these other parts of the pumpkin. I'm just going to take my foil sheet and I'm going to lay it down on the dry adhesive with the color side facing up towards me. And I'm just going to burnish it with my finger. And that just means rubbing along that area to adhere the foil to the adhesive. The great thing about this technique is that you can go along and grab any missed spots by using a different part of the foil or using a new sheet of foil if you've used yours up. And that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to speed this up because you don't need to see me adhere every single line of foil. You should know, though, that you can obviously do any kind of shape that you want on these pumpkins. You could do stripes, you could do dots, you could do chevron, whatever you like. This is a really easy way to get some foiling onto these foam pumpkins and really give them some shine. And I really like that, especially in the fall, to have that gray and the gold mix and match. So I've made it to the last line there. I'm going to let that continue to dry. And this is just one more way that you can add some Therm O Web adhesive, some shine, and some foil to these basic pumpkins. This last pumpkin I think is my favorite. I created some foiled feathers on this ivory pumpkin using the iCraft Deco Foil liquid adhesive and gold foil sheets, and I just love the way this looks. So you're going to have to create a stencil for this. I used this die and some vinyl from my Silhouette to create a feather stencil. You could use your electronic die cut machine, you could use your manual die cut machine, you could fussy cut out a shape, you can cut out leaves, feathers, whatever you love, and then you're just going to take the vinyl and apply it directly to your pumpkin. Stick it down so that it creates a really nice stencil with a slightly sticky back. And then we're going to take the iCraft Deco Foil liquid adhesive and we're going to put a bunch on the vinyl backing. The vinyl backing is just acting as a palette here for us. Then I'm going to grab a foam brush to apply the adhesive to the open part of the stencil. And the thicker that you apply this, the more coverage you're going to get, but the longer drying time you're going to require. The thinner that you apply the adhesive, you will get that sort of distressed brush stroke look, but it will be a lot quicker to dry. So I have a mix of both of these on my pumpkin, and I really like both looks. You get that great foiled look, but you also get that really pretty distressed look as well. Then I'm just going to remove my vinyl and let this dry. While this is drying, I'm going to go in with the foil with the color side facing up and rub it onto the dried areas of the adhesive, and you can see that that's how I'm creating these fun feathers all around my pumpkin. So this is just one more way to add some glamour and shine to these foam pumpkins. I hope that you've enjoyed some of these techniques, and I hope you'll give them a try. Thanks so much for stopping by.